help people to overcome their anxieties, their fears, also help them to build confidence, discipline, a stronger mindset, and so much more. So I've been doing these live streams now for quite a while, especially around the daily discipline routine, which we're going to talk about today. So having a daily routine is so important. I always say for anyone at any stage of their life. Now, even if you haven't got many anxieties in your life right now, and your life is good, it's still, I think it's still very beneficial to have a routine. Now, a daily routine is really simple. It consists of the basic fundamentals of daily living, positive habits, habits that give you connection, gratitude, more confidence, and teach you how to overcome the daily anxieties that we all have. Because even when you don't have, even if you said to yourself you don't predominantly have any fears or anxieties, that's not actually entirely true. You know, when we wake up in the morning and we don't feel like getting out of bed or facing the day, that's that's an anxiety. So there's nothing wrong with anxiety. Having anxieties, everybody has them. Of course, the problem is when people make it a problem in that they can't control their anxieties, and then they stop living. They stop doing things that they want to do. So having a daily routine teaches you how to face those anxieties daily. So when you wake up in the morning and you don't feel like facing the day, that's where discipline comes in, to get out of bed, take a shower. And I tell all my clients, and I practice this every single day, I think it's really important, leave the house. Go for a coffee, go for a walk, or go to work, or go to the gym. Getting up early, taking a shower, and leaving the house, I always say, if people could do that daily, you're going to see how much difference that will make in your life. You'll be surprised how it affects every aspect of your life. It's just the same as getting the fundamentals right in anything. For example, boxing. If you learnt the fundamentals of the jab and you got really good at the jab, all your other areas of boxing would improve because you've got the fundamentals right. If you've got the fundamentals right in, let's say, exercising, I'd say the fundamentals are eating a healthy diet. That's massive. If you ate healthy, everything else is going to be better. Your training is going to be better because you're healthier. You're eating a healthier diet. You're going to be in better shape. You're going to perform better. Let's say, for example, the fundamentals of pretty much every business is about giving value to the clients and the customers, providing value consistently, having a good product or a service, and being genuine, helping people, making a product that works or helps a certain group of people. For example, a coffee shop. So a coffee shop sells coffee. It provides a service, a product that people want and need. So when you get the fundamentals right with the daily discipline routine, which is to get up early, get out of the bed as quick as you can, don't ruminate, don't overthink, don't start catastrophizing and feeding all of your thoughts, you gain more confidence, you gain more discipline. And that confidence and that discipline, you can build on that, and you can apply that in absolutely any area of your life. I just gave some examples there off the top of my head with business and training, but it applies to everything, because when you get down to most things, at some point all these things tie in with one another. And I'm going to deviate for a second, and I say this a lot. I always enjoy saying this to help people, and it really helped me on my journey, and it helps my clients. Most people won't do public speaking. It's not because they can't do it. It's not because they're not good enough. It's not because other people are better than them. It's because they're frightened to do it, and they're not willing to face that fear, because they're afraid of failing, getting embarrassed, and they're afraid of experiencing the high doses of anxiety that they're going to feel if they face public speaking. Obviously, if you keep doing it, then you're going to get more relaxed. The fear is going to go down. And it's a normal human fear. It's one of the biggest ones on the list. So I was the same years ago, especially if you quote unquote are quite introverted, like I was and I can be, which is nothing wrong with being introverted, or if you're quite shy, or you're not comfortable talking in groups of people. I get it. Most people have got all those things, right? Not everyone, but most people have. I did. So you might believe that you can never do it. So years ago, when I started to get up early and I started going down to the gym regularly, I went down to the weightlifting gym, and then I transitioned into the boxing gym. I noticed from having a routine from getting up at a certain time and going to the gym consistently, my confidence started to go up, and my paranoia and my anxiety started to go down, and I just didn't care anymore about the anxiety because I had a formula to face it, and I was too focused and enjoying my life with the routine. So it didn't happen straight away, but a little bit of time later on, after I got a lot of confidence and discipline from boxing and weight training, I had the confidence, I had the courage to go and do public speaking, which was something that I thought I could never do. I used to look at other people on television, actors, and see people doing public speaking. I honestly used to believe that I could never do it, that they must be different to me, that they're born confident and I'm not, and it wasn't true. None of that was true. It was human fears and anxieties and doubt. So having a routine leads on to some great things for everyone and anyone. There's no question, there's nothing you could there's nothing you could say to me today that you'd like to do, but you're afraid to do, or you don't think you can do it. There's nothing that you could tell me that I know that you could do if you had my help and support and mentorship, or someone else's help and support, right? And a routine. So the routine is a mentor. I'll get to the questions. Great to see all of you. Timmy, good to see you. Kevin, good to see you. Steve, good to see you. Isabel. So, and many people feel like that public speaking. Many people hate it, and I didn't like it either until you get good at it. When you enjoy something, you're good at it, you're not going to hate it, right? So back to what I was saying, once I gained more confidence from the routine, I was ready, even though I was scared to do it, but I'm going to get to that point in a second. It doesn't matter if you're scared. What matters is can you do it, right? And when I say that, that's not judging anybody. That's not saying I can do it, you can't, or they. No, we're not saying that, but we're getting down to where we want to get to. And all right. So eventually, even though I was scared, even though I was nervous, I went and did it. And the talk didn't go well, the first public talk that I gave when I first started my business all those years ago, but I didn't really care because I had the courage to do it. The people were nice, and I got nervous and I got a bit awkward, but I still done it, and it gave me a little bit more courage to keep going. And then I did loads of talks and got really confident at them, and I just became, I didn't even think about it anymore. I just loved doing it. So that all came from having a routine. Simple fundamentals of getting up early, getting out of bed, leaving your house. Because it's a metaphor, isn't it? What we all look, we're all the same. Whether we're living in a mansion, or whether we're living on a settee, or whether we're living at our parents, or whether we're at university, or we're renting, we all go to sleep. We've got to wake up in the morning. So waking up in the morning and be able to get out early, that is success. How we define success in many ways, but that is something to be proud of for yourself, because it's not an easy thing to do, to get up early every morning. For a parent, for a student, for anyone of any age, it's not an easy thing, unless you're a morning person, and you've always been that way. But even for a morning person, it's not always easy. We'll get to the questions in a second. I'm just going to finish this part that I'm saying. I'll get to all of your questions. So, like I said, this routine builds onto other things, and it's a metaphor for facing life, because everybody, I'm not just going to generalize, but let's say especially people that have got anxiety disorders, whatever their anxieties are, social anxiety, OCD, agoraphobia, panic attacks, all the different areas. And if I haven't named some of the anxieties, don't worry, I'm applying to all of them. All of these anxieties make it difficult for people to get up early, leave the house, face the day, face people, face life, face themselves. So if you can do this, everything else is possible. So back to the public speaking. The public speaking, once I had a routine of training, getting up early, it wasn't really that bad. It actually became pretty easy. So don't differentiate, don't separate and say, oh, getting up early and showering and leaving my house, oh, that's not a big accomplishment like public speaking. It's like, no, actually, you're thinking the wrong way. It is just as a big accomplishment, because in order to go and do a public talk at an event or wherever you're doing it, if you've got somewhere hired or you get invited, in order to do that, you've got to get up you got to get up in the morning and you know, shower, put your clean clothes on and go to the event. So it's all preparation. Every single day I practice this because we live daily lives. So it's not like, oh, I've got it now, it's like a video game, I've clocked it. It's like, no, you every single day you've got to keep going. I've got to do this every day if you want to keep on enjoying your life and keep on building on your disciplines and getting your anxieties down. And that also goes for other areas of life as well. Like I said, you know, going to work, starting a business, traveling, meeting with friends. The fundamentals are the mornings, are getting up. And the better you get up in the morning, the more gratitude you've got, the better your life's going to go. If your morning's always not right, then of course your life's going to follow that. Generally, that pattern's going to follow out. So that's why I'm really big on this, and I go over it a lot and I repeat it a lot because it needs to be repeated so it's understood, not just understood intellectually where people go, yeah, I hear what you're saying, yeah, that makes sense, or I don't agree. You've got to practice it, you've got to experience it. Experience is how you gain confidence. Like I said, I can't give you experience on a live stream. I can share my experiences with you, I can share some of my clients' experiences and other people, but ultimately you're the one. I'm giving you the help and support now, mentorship. You've got to get the experience because we're all, obviously, we've got our own individual lives and experiences, but the principles are the same. So you'll notice whatever it is that you're going through right now, whether you're going through a difficult time, whether you're going through a good time, whether you've got fears, whether you've got exams coming up, whether you've got business, whatever the case may be, if you have this routine, you're going to get stronger. And that is the idea. The idea is to not get weaker. The idea is to get stronger, both mentally, emotionally, and physically. And that's why getting up early, not staying in the house too long, going out, getting a coffee, going for a walk is really good for mental health anyway. It's a good mental health practice anyway. But it's not just good for mental health, it's good for building up confidence and discipline. And it's also good for achieving goals. So just reading some of the questions here, again, the answer is going to be pretty much the same as I said, as having that routine. Pretty much, you know, you've said there, Steve, you know, with the anger issues, that's very common, it's very normal with anxiety, and as human, you know, everyone gets angry from time to time a lot. So if you get up early and when you work out and train, you get rid of all that anger anyway. Training is really important. So we'll move on to that now. So obviously, once you've got the fundamentals right, and you know, it's going to take you a couple of weeks to build that routine, which is fine. You have to be patient. Once you're in a habit of getting up early and being able to shower and leave the house, you really want to start working out. I have no tolerance really, unless someone's got a genuine excuse. Usually there isn't. I do not subscribe to the fact that people won't work out. You have to work out and do some exercise. I mean, any qualified doctor will tell you that. Any mentor like myself will tell you that. If people, especially people with anxiety, have to work out. It's one of the best medications out there and therapies. And you go online, you've already probably read, go on Google, watch my videos. I can tell you from experience that working out improves anxiety. It improves confidence, happiness, gratitude. It improves anger issues. All the issues that you're going through that people have, working out is a great thing. And again, you don't have to overdo it, but you also don't have to underdo it. So you know, I would say when people ask me, it's hard to say. I would say at least 3 times a week. I personally prefer to work out 6 days a week because I love it and I enjoy it. Right, so you can change at any time. But whether you work out 3 times a week or 6 times a week, it's important to work out. People often neglect working out. They think that they can not do it, but still change their life and still be happy. And from my experience, you can't. You can't at some point. You're going to struggle without working out. It's really important for people to do exercise. And for people that may say if they've got an injury, I understand that, and that obviously that's not your fault if you've got certain, but you can work around it. So sometimes when people say to me, I can't run because of an injury, I say, well, you can walk. So do a walk, go for a long walk in the park in nature. Go out for an hour and then come back home, you feel better. If people say, well, I've got an injury on my leg, then work your upper body, go to the gym, do weights. There's no excuses if you really want to find the way. I'm not being rude when I say this, but there's people out there that have got no arms and legs and they're still working out. They're an inspiration to all of us. So if you look for an excuse, you're always going to find one. You know, you can do stretching. That's the great thing about working out. There's thousands of routines. There's ways around. There's ways around working around your injuries. But if you haven't got any injuries and you really don't have an excuse, it's but I struggle with anxiety because I was bullied for 6 years. Yeah, everyone, I can relate to that. My clients, everyone has had that, and I understand that's difficult, and we've all been through that. But if you want to move forward and gain confidence, then having the routine and working out is really important. I think that's the biggest thing, hardest thing with people and with clients, and when I'm helping clients, is that people will go to any extreme length. All right, mate. Are you working out here?
I just need an hour.
Oh, that's right. No, I'll go in, mate. I'll leave you to it. I'm just doing a live stream. That's all right, mate. All right, nice one. Just a second. Sorry, gentlemen, just a second. The maintenance work they're doing out there. Okay. Yeah, sorry about everyone. It's doing some maintenance outside there on the roof. So we'll continue. Right. So what I was saying, one of the hardest things with people, with clients, and myself as well, is the stubbornness and the reluctancy to do the things that you know that are going to benefit you. And that's the frustrating thing with people at times, myself, my clients, all of us, right? We're not saying it's easy, as we don't do the things often that we know are going to get us better or make us feel better. And these things are always about facing things, doing things. This is where taking action comes in. Hold on a second, it's too dark in here. Oh, my coffee's kicked in now, this is great. Let's get more light in here. Hopefully you can hear me speaking, so I don't want to lose my train of thought. So, avoidance, right? Why is it so dark in here? I've got all the lights on. Hold on a second. Let's get this lamp on. That's better. That's better. Where's that? So like I said, avoiding things that you know you need to do, and the prime ones that people often avoid is working out and exercising, and eating healthier and getting up early. And the reason is because it's difficult. People want to be comfortable. They want the nice feelings, and you're not going to change if you go for that. So the daily routine teaches you the opposite of what most people look for, and that is comfort, that is constant safety, reassurance, no disturbance of peace. Now, although of course we all want that to a large degree, but you can't have that if you want discipline. If you want confidence in your life, if you want discipline, if you want to change, if you want to stop letting your anxieties ruin your life and stop you living, then you can't look for comfort. It doesn't work. You've tried it already, it hasn't worked. I've tried it hasn't worked. And that's why that's why discipline is so revered and you have to earn it. You have to earn these things, and you can have comfort after. So it's not taking things to the extreme and saying that you can never be comfortable. Of course not. So you're going to have to practice daily. It's a daily discipline. It's you know, it's not something that you hold on. It's not something that you just do once in a while, because if you do that, then you're not going to make changes. You're not going to be consistent enough. So that's most of what I wanted to say today to people to change their lives. And all the other things that people want to do are going to be easier when you've got that routine in place, which is getting up early, you know, leaving the house, going to the gym, and then going about the rest of your day, whether you've got to go work after you go to work, your commitments, you know, your relationships, your family, you know, all the most of the sort of simple mundane things that we got to do every day. But things that you really enjoy, you can add all these things onto your routine. So the daily routine is not just getting up early and going to the gym. Thank you, Isabel. The daily routine is, you know, your whole life can fit into that. But it's really just getting the foundation for good mental health, for discipline, for confidence, and also, sorry about the noise there, and having a structure in your life, which is really important. That's all right, Steve. You know what, guys? I'm gonna stop the stream here because a bit too much noise. I'm gonna do a stream later on, but that was basically what I wanted to share today. I wanted to keep it simple again and just give you the foundation, which is really, really important. And once you practice this and get this, take your time with it, you'll see how much better you'll feel, and then you'll be able to face. Yeah, Steve. I think everyone would relate to the way that you're feeling. Then you'll be able to do all the other things that you want to do. Like I said, remember, if you get the foundation right and fundamentals, you can then go on and do the other things that you need to do in your life, all right? Let me speak to all of you a bit later on, right? I'm going to do another live stream, get somewhere where there's not as much sound. So that's it. You practice it every day. You know, you're going to get days where you're going to fail. That's fine. You keep going. Nothing's going to be perfect. You will get there in the end. That's always the process with learning anything. So you don't have to be perfect. I didn't get it straight away. My clients don't. It took time. But you just work on one day at a time. If you get it today, well done. If you don't get it tomorrow, that's fine. Keep going. Again, nothing is always going to be perfect with anything. But as long as you keep putting the effort in, you're going to see a difference, especially with your anxiety. So make things simple. Even if you get up early, you leave the house, go for a coffee. It's facing things basically. It's not being avoidant, and it's doing exposure. And this is going to give you a lot of confidence, a lot of recovery, a lot of discipline, and you'll understand. It makes sense through experience. You'll know what you need to do after. It will just be common sense. This stuff's very simple. Not easy to do, but it's very simple once you get in the habit of it. Oh, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it, Isabel. Thanks. No, you're welcome, Steve. And with the start of any new routine, you know, half an hour a day, and then you can build on that. Right, I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to go to the gym myself and do another live stream later on. Oh, that's great. I'm glad the lives help. Yeah, you can build up to that, Isabel, or anyone. You know, again, everyone has those fears, but you can slowly break them down, get more confident with talking to people, just by starting what I've said today. You know, with the routine, you can build on that. It really does. Good night, Steve. It really does give you more confidence. A lot of people wouldn't really put two and two together. They wouldn't think that getting up early and having a routine and going to the gym could make you more confident speaking to people, but it does. Anyway, I'm going to head off and speak to all of you soon, right? Thank you for coming on today, and I'll talk to you soon.